Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name's Hillary, and today we're doing kind of a serious video. As most of you know, I'm originally from Colorado, and it's dry there. It is. I was just there just a month ago. First of all, my allergies are kind of going crazy this morning, and my voice is kind of crackly, so sorry about that, but we gotta get this video done. So I was just there, super dry, so dry. Didn't have very much snow this winter. Everybody knew fire season was going to be bad. One of the things I hated about living in Colorado was fire season. Oops. You know, I live in tornado area now. And honestly, I think fire season is more scary than tornado season. Fires are just so unpredictable. So, at one point, it was said that there were 16 fires burning in Colorado. And I think a couple more have started since then. So, there's one specifically. The Aspen Acres Fire. Sunday night, which was the 5th, it started actually going towards where most of my friends and family live, and started evacuating close to where a lot of my family lives. And you know when you're far away from somebody that you want to help and there's not much you can do to help? I kind of had that feeling. So I decided to set up a crystal grid. And I started kind of figuring out Monday morning what I wanted. I originally wanted to put it on this, I love this Tree of Life crystal grid that my husband made me, but everything that I'm putting on it, I don't think it, remember I live in a camper, small area, easy to pump stuff. I wanted this to kind of be more contained. So I have a bowl. You can kind of see it right there. I haven't taken stuff out of it yet. I started thinking about what to put in it and what to really focus on for this crystal grid. So I gathered everything up on Monday, and I wasn't quite ready to record this. I wanted to be able to record this video when I was fully able to focus on it and make sense. And so today is actually Thursday, I think. And here's the bowl. This is a bowl I made when I was in college, in pottery. You see my signature there? 2001. Oops. So I decided the bowl was going to be really good, and I set it up, and I just haven't felt like recording. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any negativity put into the bowl. Things are crazy there. I don't want to add anything else to it, so I wanted to make sure that when I actually set up the crystal grid, now technically everything's been in this bowl, so it's been technically working. But when I go to actually put my intentions in it, which is what I'm doing in this video, I wanted it to, be totally positive. That's also a reason I'm not going to be putting any of the pictures. There's tons of pictures online of the fire and everything, and I'm not going to add anything like that because I don't want that, negative put in. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, you can see my mug of tea for comfort. So, as of this morning, the Aspen Acres Fire as of today's the 9th. Yep, today's July 9th at 6:30 this morning. It's a total of 96,121 acres, which is really close to what it was yesterday. I know it was 96,000 something. It's 14% contained, which I think yesterday it was 15 or 16% contained. And for it's been over a week now, and it was almost a week before there was any containment at all. And there are 1,831 personnel working the fire. Yesterday it was like 1,600 people. So, and that goes up and down, just who's available. There are people, they're firefighters from California, Alaska, all over the place. They're helping. And the community is kind of overwhelmed. I know. My dad is actually in the hospital right now, and they had to put him in an ICU room, not because he needed the ICU, but because they're letting firefighters stay in their regular hospital rooms. So there's no room for him to go into a regular room. So he's in ICU, but not because he needs to. Doesn't need to be there. So there's a lot going on. So I wanted to focus on some protection, communication, some grounding. Just, you'll see. I've got all sorts of stuff. I need another drink. I don't know why my voice is so bad today. All right, let's start with we're going to add some sigils. So we've got the Making Magic deck. I'm focusing on the same thing. So what you'll see in the sigils, you'll see is what I chose for crystals. So we're going to, oops, really glossy. We're going to start with Perseverance. Air conditioner kicked on, so I had to go shut it off. I want to get this done. I did it early, recorded early in the morning before it got hot even. Anyway, Perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. The fire keeps growing. Now this, I want this to go for pretty much all the fires in Colorado. So, over the last couple days, they were fighting this big, huge fire, and then another 2 popped up over the last few days. So it's got to be super frustrating for all these firefighters to come in and, you're fighting this one, but there's more popping up all over the place. And plus, what's going on at home? These firefighters are working their butts off for people in other states, and all their families are at home and stuff. So I thought that was a good one. Insight opens the third eye to strengthen intuition. I think intuition during any kind of big thing is really important. So you'll see that in the crystals too. I kind of want these to fan out, but I think we're going to have to wait till the crystals are in there. Spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. I think they need a lot of that right now. Alright, and then one of the things I really like about this Making Magic deck is they've got all 4 elements. So there's earth, air, fire, and water. And I'm putting these in here because there needs to be a good balance between, it's affecting the earth, the air, the wind needs to blow the storms in, the rain in, but it also needs to not be so bad that it's blowing the fire. And that was part of it, was there for a few days. The winds were so bad. And then, of course, the fire creates its own weather system and air system. So we need it, but it needs to also not be too destructive. And, of course, we've got the fire. Need to help the fire go out. And now part of this too is this area hasn't had uh, it's full of so much dry stuff. So the fire, in a way, is helping because it's getting rid of all that dry stuff. The birds are going crazy outside. Can you hear that? I'm sure you can. Anyway, so the fire is helping in a way, but it's also taking out so many homes and properties and just taking over. So there needs to be a balance there, but too, that yeah, the fire is helping, like in the like right here. Um, the element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. So it is helping the environment in a way, but it's taking out a lot too. And then, of course, water. We need the water, but also we can't get too much water all at the same time because of flash flooding. There's no trees and grass and stuff to help with that anymore in some of these areas, and it's going to cause flash flooding. So we need a balance. We need the elements to help, but we also need to make sure that they don't get too big or too much. I want the sigils out. And then we're bringing in the medieval herb sigils. This is my actual first time. I've put this some of these cards in other places, but this is my first time actually using it on here. I've done a walkthrough of it, but I'm excited. And you see, I pulled out a bunch. So we've got safeguard, protect from harm. We need a lot of protection from harm. I know at the beginning of the fires, there were 3 firefighters that were lost. Not on this, like I said, not in Aspen Acres, but in one of the first ones in Colorado. And so, we need to protect the firefighters and all the other people working on it, and even the families that are evacuating and stuff. Soothe, accept comfort and calm. I thought that was a good one. People are, there's tons of people that have been evacuated, and they need some comfort and calm. Amulet, ward off negative energy. We need to get rid of that. Banish toxic people and situations. So, like any other situation or big event like this, there are people going in and starting to loot places that have been evacuated, which I think is totally messed up, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so we need to banish those people. Here's another intuition. Trust my intuition completely. Help firefighters trust their intuition before we had help it come in. Luck, attract good luck. We're needing good luck. Regeneration, generate speedy recovery from ailments. There's going to be lots of regeneration just everywhere. It's like I said, 96,000 acres. It's huge. People's homes, farms, the environment itself. It's going to need some help. Victory, manifest success and triumphs. It's been going on for a week, so I know they have to be getting frustrated. So they need some victory. Wed, create harmonious relationships. Like I was saying before, the hospital where my dad is at, they're letting firemen use rooms to sleep in, and so help relationships like that. And I know there's people that got farm animals, they're having to put all over the place and then find places for them to stay. So help with those relationships to make sure everybody gets what they need. Green Fae, work with fairy energy to heal the environment. That's going to be very important. And even after the fires are out, I think pretty much this whole crystal grid is gonna apply to afterwards too. I'll probably go through it, but I think this card may be like, right now I think the element cards are kind of like the main sigils to focus on right now, because we need the balance of all of those. But I think this green fae, after the fires, is probably going to be kind of the main focus sigil. And witch, strengthen my magical powers. We want to put as much energy and strength into this crystal grid as possible. Okay, now I need my notes. All right, so the next one, I want to bring out the element cards. Whoops. I want to put the element cards on top. Now, this part's going to be tricky, because I want these to kind of fan out here. And then I'm going to add the abalone shell. That'll work good. Okay, so abalone shell is for protection. Help deal with difficult emotions, boost communication, strengthen commitment, help determination, attract abundance and prosperity. You know, the abundance and prosperity is people coming together to help. Like I was saying, there's over 1,800 firemen or personnel fighting this fire right now. And it doesn't mean abundance and prosperity as in monetary. That's abundance of people helping out, abundance of resources, stuff like that. Also helps with, the abalone shell also helps with insight and intuition, help deal with problems, and it's good for all the chakras, which I think is kind of important right now too. Now, when I first set this up, I was really frustrated because I couldn't find my abalone shell, and I really wanted it in here. And then yesterday I finally figured out it's not where I had it stored before. I moved it so it was safer, and I felt silly because I was so frustrated. And then in here, I really wanted jade in this crystal grid, and I can't find any of my jade pieces. I've got a bunch. I don't know where they are right now. I could have used the bracelet. I just realized I have a bracelet. Anyway, this works. So jade is good for protection, abundance. It's a lucky charm. It helps with courage. It nurtures harmonious relationships between business partners and family members, which is really, I think, important right now. Even, you know, families coming, they're stepping up to help other family members, friends, businesses stepping up, stuff like that. Now, my only problem with using these chips is I got green, or the jade and the green aventurine chips mixed together. And I wasn't originally going to put the green aventurine in, but it works. It gives me my jade, and it also, you know, green aventurine is also good for luck and prosperity and stuff like that too. So it works. Alright, next, we got the abalone shell. We're going to add some amber. I love this piece. Amber's good. The stone of courage, which I thought everybody needs right now. Fighting any of the fires, evacuating, you know, dealing with everything. It helps eliminate fear. It's good for protection, especially travelers, to keep safe on long journeys. And like I said before, there are firefighters from all over the country. I know there's a big group from California there right now. Like the main people coordinating everything are from Alaska. So there's people from all over the place helping. So I thought that was really good. It's also good for good luck, and it helps develop patience, which I know I've been having a hard time with, and I'm not directly involved in it. Alright, next we're going to add some amethyst because it's my stone. So I'm sending my stone that I use for calming and anxiety and protection and stuff like that to my family and friends and the rest of Colorado. It helps you gently work through grief and move past suffering. And there's a lot of people that have lost homes and stuff, so I thought that was good. It offers love, protection, and courage. Helps with decision-making skills, which there's a lot of decisions being made. It helps ease frustration. It helps breathing problems and cleanses the air, which I thought was really important too. And it helps with concentration. I think I'm going to put this one in the abalone shell. Where is... So next I have an Apache Tears. I use Apache Tears a lot in my when I'm doing grief work. It's support during times of sorrow. I've described it before, like, oh, the battery's gonna die. Apache Tears is it protects your back, it watches your back when you're distracted by things. And like obsidian and black tourmaline keep all the negative away. This is more of like it's hard to explain it, but it's more like a comforting protection. It's the one that's got their armor wrapped around you when everybody else is blocking. Apache Tears is there with the arm around you, keeping stuff away, kind of thing. Alright, the battery died. I shut the air conditioner off, so we had to take air conditioner breaks, but then the heat is making the battery die quicker, so. And I did a little rearranging while I got mad at the battery. So anyway, we're talking about Apache Tears. It's used for support during times of sorrow. It helps accept and release grief. It brings hope to dire circumstances. It restores physical energy, which a lot of people are going to need. And again, protection while traveling. Alright, I think we need to start adding some of the bigger ones. So I've got Dragon's Blood Jasper. When I was picking out crystals to put in, I was actually going to grab a small piece of Dragon's Blood, but I saw this and decided it needed to be used. So, Dragon's Blood Jasper is good for strength, courage, and protection. Helps you take action and helps power through heartbreak and disappointment. And it's good for grounding. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this one. Tourmalated quartz, and this is probably my favorite piece in my collection of tourmalated quartz. It amplifies all the quartz amplifies the black tourmaline, so it's a very protective crystal. It removes obstacles holding you back, which I thought was in a way really good to have. It's a mountain terrain, so there's lots of obstacles. They've got so many resources coming in. Airplanes, and airplanes have to get the water. People have to get transported around, have to have a place to stay. So I thought that'd be really good, helping with all that. It's also very grounding, and it helps with good luck. Lava stone. I brought this in because it's a raw and primal energy, and I felt that was kind of a good energy to have for this. It pulls hard work out of you, which everybody's working really hard. It helps with inner strength to overcome personal challenges. It helps motivate and inspire, and it helps calm emotions. Once again, I thought that was all important. Oh my goodness. Next, we've got Dalmatian jasper, which is good for strength and determination. It encourages cooperation and harmony, which they need help with. There's just so much going on. It's supportive and calming. It's good for protection, and it helps pursue goals and raise confidence. And the goal is to get the fire out. I read a thing yesterday that they said that this fire, I know they're going to put out the areas where homes are being threatened, but they'll probably, like in the public lands area, just let it burn, and it could burn all summer. So that's crazy. I also included my anhydro piece. It's got the little bubble of water in there. Can you see it? I've showed this several times. I thought, for one, it's quartz, which helps, but I thought having my little anhydro, my little anhydro crystal, I'm sure it could add some help with water. Rain, but not too much rain. I'm sort of out of order. Blue lace agate helps strengthen communication skills, speak clearly and with confidence. There's lots of communicating through this whole thing. All the fires, even between all the fires, they have to communicate with each other. Confidence, trust, patience, protection, and manifestation. Plus, it's a very calming. I didn't write that down, but it's a very calming crystal too. Let's see. I got all those. Prasiolite, which is a green amethyst. It helps remind us we have to go forward with love in our heart and spread to support others around us. And I think that's really important with everybody just kind of all over the place, and so many evacuations, and people that don't have places to go back to. It's a protector of the emotional body and balance traumatic turmoil within. That's really important right now. It helps be the absolute version you can be. Being the best person you can be. It's uplifting, heart healing, and helps with confidence. Next, we got pyrite. It has the energy of determination for crashes. So when everybody's just so tired and feel like they can't go on, it helps with that. It guides you towards success. It lifts your spirits with surge of energy and encourages you to keep pushing. We've got ruby and zoisite, which helps prevent overreactions. Right now, I don't know that there have been many overreactions, but I'm sure there have been. It calms racing heart while maintaining body's equilibrium, especially during times of stress. It releases inflammation. You know that all these people after working hard, their muscles have to be crazy sore. Amethyst is good for inflammation too. Strengthen immune system, which, you know, people are going to be tired. Their immune systems are going to be down. Also strengthens heart and lungs. It aids with communication with spirit guides, which I think is kind of important right now too. Alright, 2 more, which is good because there's not much room in my bowl. Selenite. Selenite, it helps with mental clarity. It helps clear confusion. It's protective, energy clearing, space clearing, removes stagnant negative energy, which I think it's good. There's a lot just after. I just feel like after, you know, after they put fire out of an area, they're just, it needs to be cleaned out. It helps with an optimistic outlook, and also helps with decision making. Put that one kind of right there. And last, when I was thinking about communication, you know, I've got lapis lazuli is usually my favorite communication crystal, and now I've talked about blue kyanite is one of my new favorites. Sodalite to me is more like you're communicating, like, how do I explain it? Oh, here. Bring people together for common purpose. So, like, when it's a big thing, big meeting, you know, big organizing thing. I use it when there's something like a death in the family, or there's something big going on. I use sodalite a lot because there's big discussions. You know, job interview, I really like lapis lazuli because it's big stuff, but sodalite is just, to me, it feels like the more, how do I explain it? Involves more people, maybe. I don't know, it just feels bigger, like bigger conversations. All right, it's also good for trust, harmony, communication. When people gather, it inspires harmonious, loving group conversations. I guess that's kind of a good explanation of it too. It helps with focus. I've got communication written down again. Willpower, intuition, logic, focus. It can help calm panic attack, and it helps harmony in group work. So that's why I chose sodalite. So that's what I've got set up right now. Oops. Like, it's sort of been put together. Just now is when I'm putting in my intentions into it, and now I can set it in a spot instead of in the middle of my kitchen counter and let it do its thing and really focus on helping everybody in Colorado, especially the Aspen Acres Fire. Just from what I'm reading, it is getting better. That some of the evacuations have been lifted, and they've gone back to pre-evacuation status. So there's people that are able to get back in. There's so many people still not able to get in. So, and they, you know, there's containment now. It's less than it was yesterday, but there's still containment. When this time last week there was 0. So that's my crystal grid to help with supporting everybody in Colorado through all the fires and everything going on right now. I hope this helps them and sending them as much positive energy as I can. So that's it for today. I don't know when this video is going to post. We're getting ready to leave on a trip. By the time this video posts, I'm sure we'll be back from that trip, because I don't know that I'm going to get this edited before we leave. I'm recording this on July 9th, so that kind of gives you a timeline of what's going on. So I'm sending you lots of positive energy, and I will see you next time.